So, Laura, what we get to do today is super, super fun. So we're going to go back and check out your, like, how many families did you serve this year and where did they come from?
How many total is that, Lara, for 2019?
9, is that right?
That sounds right.
That's interesting because hers just came from 2 categories.
I know. Like, when you just do that, like, what comes up to the surface? Like, what do you think about? Like, what's your takeaways? What's your analysis on it?
That I have a good relationship with my past clients.
Yeah. Yeah, 55% from past clients.
And that means 45% referral from past clients.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fascinated by that everything's concentrated in 2 areas.
Yeah.
I see that from 2 places. The first place is, gosh, half of your business comes from your past clients and the other half comes from the people they refer.
Right.
So if we can just help you love and serve those people, your job's easy.
Right.
Getting the business is easy. That's one way. But the other thing that comes up for me is I can't wait to see how we add to this by you showing up on social each week and growing the referrals from your sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing your Thursday post though, Lara. Just doing that consistently, we can add some business from your sphere that's not currently there. So here's what I would say to you as somebody who's just starting to kind of get out there in social. Just post it all at once. Carve out 5 minutes and just do it on every platform at once.
Yeah.
Because if you're not in the habit of being on there all the time, it just is, in my opinion, it's another barrier to actually doing it. Okay, I'm gonna post it on Facebook, then I'm gonna wait 3 hours, I'm gonna do it on Instagram. I can do that because I'm on all the platforms all the time. But I would say for you, whenever you see Derek's post on Thursday afternoon, on Wednesday afternoon, on Thursday morning, go in, make it yours, post it on Facebook, post it on Instagram, post it on LinkedIn, and if you have an email list, send it out to that too.
Yeah.
So the most important thing I think is doing it. Like, that's number 1. Number 2 then is, where in your day can you just make it a habit to do it? Because the doing is like so far supersedes like the time.
Yeah. We had this conversation on Coaching College this week because people were asking me different questions about, well, when. And I said, the most important thing you can hear me say is the time to choose or the way to do it is however you'll do it. However you'll get it done, do it then or do it that way.
Yeah.
That's why I set mine up on my calendar each morning. And so Thursday was from 10 to 10:30. I did my social post. I just did it. I did it on all the platforms and I just left it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I do one for you guys. I've done one post every week for 5 years. So, but to your point, the way that I do it is it's in my calendar. It's an appointment at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. I don't take any appointments before that. It's part of my Wednesday routine. It's like brushing my teeth on Wednesday. Whatever you hate to do, whatever's the hardest stuff, you do first. You do all that and you win your day. And then you go with clients for the rest of the day. Like, it's awesome. But to Jenny's point, so that's one of my takeaways too. We just had Chesson last time. She had 31% of her business came from her social and her network. So you don't have that category in there. And so I think it's fair to assume, Jenny, when we start to rebuild it for her, that if she stays consistent, she just does it once a week, that she can increase that part of her business by 31%. Definitely. Yeah. So the next thing to do, Laura, now is, this is where it starts to get really fun.
Okay.
Is now let's project out how many families you're going to serve in 2020 based on numbers, based on logic, based on metrics, based on like based on real projections instead of next year I'm going to do this and I'm going to be a completely different person and I'm going to do it, right? Like, let's use real numbers to come up with an accurate projection for you. And then what we get to do is once you get the sales machine complete and get people in there, then we'll put that projection in there for you. We can record this. And then you can, I think, make really good decisions for yourself. So this is my question. What do you think you will close? How many units will you close? How many families will you serve in 2020 based on like you're not Laura right now. You're like a board of directors. You're looking at your business like based on real numbers. This is what I need in order to make a good projection is how many people do you think you're going to have in VIP client for life in the sales machine by the end of this year? This is probably number one on projecting your business.
Okay. Now you told me that you want me to do 20 a week, right? Because of where I'm at.
What I said is like if you're stressed about money,
right?
If money's stressing you, if you have 20 conversations with people, not everyone's going to say yes, but if you have 20 conversations, you'll be plus doing the social post, you'll be in business real quick.
Okay. If not everyone, I would say good 75 in the VIP for life. Now, that was that question before. So from the VIP for life or client for life, I'm including the 75 people in that. So do I need to break it apart from that? No. Okay.
No, I just need to know like the number. I just need to know the number on that number. And then I need to know a couple more numbers. So then the other number is what's the minimum that you have to close in order to feel good financially? Feel okay. Like you're paying your bills, you're able to eat, you're like.
The minimum?
Yeah. What's the minimum right now?
24.
Okay. What do you think is your upper limit on how much business you could handle while still retaining a life?
Okay. I would say
without hiring somebody.
I would say 32.
Okay.
And then it gets a little hairy.
Okay, cool. So this time, Laura gets to go first. Jenny gets to go second. And I get to go third on this one. So I want you to really think through this and I want you to defend it. I want you to sell us on why that's an accurate number. And the game that we're playing is we're recording this. So this time next year, we get to look at this and go, ha ha, I was right. Or ha ha, like that's what we get to look at in a year. So what do you think? What do you think the number is going to be? But then tell me why.
What am I going to end up with?
Yep. How many units are you going to, how many, it's nicer to say family served, but on your side too, it might be a buy and a sell side. So
yeah. So that's why I'm thinking it might be a little bit higher because I will get both sides of it sometimes. So that's why I'm thinking the 24 might fluctuate. So if I do a buy and sell side, which is that very high probability, that's really 12. That's really just 12 over a 12. That's one a month. Okay. So that's very doable. And then I do have investors and builders that I'm working with or building up. So that would still give me some growth room to move toward that 32 or higher.
How many?
No, but you have to say exactly.
Yeah. How many, Laura, how many of the 9 transactions that you did this year were both sides? Do you know that?
I will tell you.
So you have to, at the end of your speech, you have to say, I am going to close these many units, and this is the reason why.
Okay. All right, I got you. All right, so I would say half of those. So 12 would be a double-sided, so that would be 24 closings. Then I would have another 12 on top of that. So that would be 36. That's a lot. Never really looked at it that way. Because that would have to be buyers coming in through referral, like a one-sided referral, like a buyer client or social media. So that would be 12 would need to come from that stream. Like a totally separate stream. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's your final number?
Okay, so my final number would be 36.
Okay.
And that's half doing double-sided transaction.
Yeah.
And then the other 12 just being a single-sided.
This is harder for me, Dee, because I only have 2 things to work for percentages.
Oh, I didn't say it was going to be easy.
So I'm going to say 25.
Okay.
Based on what?
Because she's going to have 75 VIPs in Sales Machine. And I'm saying 30%, we're going to get 30% of that is going to be new business. So 75 times 30% is 22. Okay. But I see an incredible opportunity in Sphere and social media.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying I believe 30% of what she did last year could come from that immediately a year later. And 30% of the 9 that she had was 3 more.
So final number is?
25.
Yeah, this is interesting. My number was 25 too.
Ooh, how about that? How'd you get yours?
I did it based on how I did sessions. On this one, I just assigned a straight 33% of 75.
Okay.
And then the upside over 25. I'm honestly like, I think Jenny knows me well enough to know that this is coming from love. Like this is this. I don't want what I say to affirm anything in the negative. This is what my observation was you have your language around 32 is what will hold her back. So she has a very imposed firm limit on 32 in her mind. And so then it's like, once you start butting up against that, then that's where like, there's no amount of marketing, there's no amount of anything that will get her to do more than, so her belief right now, so I'm talking this out loud, I'm talking to Jenny, I'm talking behind your back, in front of your back, Laura, right now, okay? Jenny knows I use that language, but it's a coming from love thing. I want you to just understand it. That this was your language. 32, this is what I wrote down when you said it. 32 gets really hairy.
Without an assistant.
Right. Right. Yeah. And which is a great caveat. I'm glad you picked up right there too. But my guess is with the finances right now, you're in this catch-22 type situation where you need a year to get your finances back in order. So I wasn't projecting you'd hire an assistant next year. Am I wrong?
If we can get this moving, I'm all open for it.
Okay, so the language would have to change if we can get this moving to
see what when I say 32 looks hairy, based on the processes that I have right now with no changes, 32 gets hairy with it processes. If processes change and streamlined, then we can blow it out.
Okay. So that's a really strong statement. The other thing, at 30, so when you were doing your numbers, you went 36 and then you went, that would be a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, I wrote that down. Whew, that's a lot.
You said it twice and then you have that. So when I'm like, as I say, like, I'm not trying to put any limits on anything. I'm just pointing out language. And then coaching for so long, I absolutely know, like, there's been zero. This is how many people have gone over their limits, 0%. I've never seen anybody do more than the self-imposed limits that they have for themselves. Never. When you're doing a projection, I know that like, without her feeling comfortable, without feeling comfortable financially, 32 is going to be your upper limit. And then she's going to, like, the minute you don't just do 2.5 transactions each month, there's going to be some that she has 5. So she's going to be sabotaging at 5 and getting them back into a comfortable level. So that's where I came up with 25, but 25 is 33% of 75.
Right.
Which is what I think is the right number. Now can easily, the upside that Jenny's talking about you can easily go from 25 to 32 on just showing up on social each week. And then the other thing too that I'm talking behind your back, in front of your back, is I still know that you still have fear around social, because anytime that anybody's asking tactical questions around posting, it's always the cue that there's still fear around it. So there's still fear there. You must become adept at feeling the fear and doing it anyways. And it's like a key thing for every human, really. So that's the mindset stuff for Laura in 2020. But it's not going to take long, because then what I also noticed, which is really a good sign, is then when I started talking about the limitations, then she argued for the upside.
For more.
So she got some fight in her. So she's got the fight too, which is what you need.
Lara, what I've learned about you over the last few months is that you've identified that this year was not what you wanted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you have committed to making next year different.
Yes.
That could get you to 32. Right? That, whatever that is, that I ain't doing this again. Here we go.
Pissed off.
Yeah. A little bit pissed.
Yeah.
Like, man, dang it. No.
Right.
And I've gotten coaching and I'm working on my mindset and I'm doing my post even when I don't want to, and watch out.
Right.
Like, that could get you to 32.
Right.
A really fun one too, like right now, is if you want to do 38 to 40, you work on your mind.
Right.
That I am going to close 40 very easy and systematically in 32 hours a week, because I'm going to be highly efficient and I'm going to use time blocking and I'm going to get all my stuff done and I'm going to have a blast doing 42. That's the work you can do on your mind.
Right.
That's how you get to 38 to 40.
And that's affirmations on Think Up. And coming to coaching every week and showing up, and
which she does.
Which you do. I love. Yeah, you're totally present. Awesome.
So, but I think the number that we put on there is 25, and then you go, okay, cool. Like then what's fun is then how do you coach her to 40?
That's when it gets really fun.
That is.